We also built my current bookshelf. We got this reading chair, 60 books, which I did achieve. I actually had to change my Goodreads goal. For my personal goals, I had try something that is scary. So up here I have like 4 pages that I'll use kind of more every day. My planner, my goals page, journal, and brain dump. I want to read a classic. Happy 2025. I can't believe we're in a new year, but at the same time, this is like one of my favorite times of the year. It just feels so refreshing and just so exciting. Everyone's setting their goals. We're trying to all refresh, reset for the new year, and have the best year of our lives. I just feel like it's so motivating and inspiring this time of year. So I wanted to do a 2025 reset video where I talk all about 2024, my goals, reflect on 2024, then move into setting goals for 2025. I'm going to set my reading goal. I'm going to walk you through my entire Notion template and my Notion pages. I totally revamped it for 2025 and I'm in love with it, so I want to share it with you guys. I'm going to make a vision board. I also want to try a new reading tracker app. I'm still going to use my Goodreads, but I want to have 2 this year and see which one I like better by the end of the year. So we'll get into that as well. And then also I want to clean and organize because I'm not going to lie, I need it. My spaces have been kind of chaotic and not organized. So also I still have Christmas decorations up. So don't judge me, but we're going to fix that all today. So we have a lot to get through in this video. So I hope that you stick around and you enjoy this video. I want to start by reflecting on 2024, and one of the first things that I want to do is do my 2024 recap month by month. So I went through and picked like a few important or fun things that happened through each month, and I'm going to share because I think it's fun to like reflect on the year and maybe you can learn a little bit more about me in the year that I had. So for January, I started reading ACOTAR, which is a very big monumental thing for me. It was my first like long fantasy series. The only other fantasy book I had read up to that point was Fourth Wing. That's the book that got me into fantasy, and I knew I wanted to read ACOTAR, so I started the year with a bang and read ACOTAR. So I finished the first 4 books and I vlogged it. It took a lot of my month, but it was such a good, exciting time because I wish I could go back to this time last year and reread ACOTAR for the very first time. That was just such an amazing experience, and I'm so glad that I read that series. Another big thing that took most of the month of January was that I redid this entire room that I'm in right now. I gave it a makeover, if you will. It used to have yellow walls. I'll insert pictures, but it was all yellow, and then I had a desk and my mom had her desk in here, and it was just mostly her stuff, and she was so nice to let me take over most of this room now because she's not here anymore. It's a big thing. It's kind of complicated, but my parents currently live in London for work, and me and my fiance live in like my family's house. We're the only ones that live here, and we kind of take care of the dogs, take care of the house, do like that kind of stuff like while my parents are away. Just thought I'd mention that really quick in case some people are confused. So my mom let me kind of take over this room and make it into my reading corner and also have my desk in here. So I wanted to paint it white so it was like better for videos and lighting and stuff. So that was a big part of January. I painted the whole room. Well, my fiance and he helped me a lot. We also built my current bookshelf. We got this reading chair and just set up this room exactly how it is right now, and I love it, and I'm so excited and glad that I was able to do that because this is like my space now. I'm so glad to have this space and just be able to read in here, film videos in here, and all of that. Then I read a lot of romance books in February. I like to do that around Valentine's Day, just set the mood. And then I also finished ACOTAR and uploaded that reading vlog, which I'm very proud of. I love that video. I like to go back and watch my reactions because I just feel like it's so funny. And then I also tried to get better at cooking and like cooking at home more this year. And then my fiance, but he was my boyfriend at the time, we celebrated our 5-year anniversary together in February as well. In March, I actually had a girls' weekend with my mom and my sister down where my sister lives for college. That was really, really fun, and I actually vlogged it, and I'm glad I did that because I have the memories now to look back on, and I think that was really fun, and it's something I've never done. I go to visit my sister, but we've never had like a weekend where we stayed with her before. Also in March, I started my nannying job, which I still have today, so that was very exciting. And then I got a sty for the very first time. Here's some pictures. I was miserable. It hurt so bad. Luckily, I got on some medication pretty quickly, so the swelling went down quick and the pain went away, but I just looked like I'd been like bit by a bee or like punched in the face for a few days. and it was not fun. So that's when I also got into a major book slump because it like hurt my head and like my eye to read. So I literally just like laid on in my bed and like did nothing for a few days, and that got me into a big book slump, unfortunately. In April, I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which got me out of my book slump from March, and I'm so obsessed with that book still. And I've read Powerful and Reckless, and I'm so excited for Fearless to come out this year, so I will be reading that. Then I kind of forgot about this, but when I was looking through my camera roll, I remembered that there was a solar eclipse in 2024 in April, and I have a picture of me standing outside with sunglasses on looking at it, so there's that. Thought that'd be memorable. And lastly, for April, I did my first 24-hour readathon, which was fun, but also very hard and stressful. And I have not done one since, but I do think I want to do one for 2025. Let me know if that's something you want to see. I'm just a person that cannot stay up late very well. I need my sleep, but it was fun for the one time that I did it last year. In May, I celebrated my sister's birthday. She came up here and we had my siblings over, and we had a little birthday dinner and cake and all that stuff with her. It was really fun. And then randomly, this is really, really random, but Sully, this little guy right here, my little precious angel baby, he just started to randomly like get in the shower. Like when I would get home from work and I could not find him anywhere, I'd go searching the house for him and I'd find him in our shower. And we have like a bathtub shower, so he like couldn't get back out. Like he was in it. He could get in, but I think he couldn't get back out because when I got home, he was still there. So weird. He did this for a few months. Like he would just randomly be in the shower. We had to start closing doors and like blocking them off so like he couldn't get stuck in the shower. And I had this picture of him trying to get in there when I was in the bathroom. So I don't know what his obsession with the shower was for or anything. He hasn't done it in a while, so maybe he's finally over it, but it's just so weird. I just thought I would tell you guys that. And then I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which became one of my favorite books of the year. I never stopped talking about it. I don't shut up about Wendell. I love it, and I'm also looking forward to the third book coming out this year as well. In June, which is the start of summer, I started nannying a lot more, and I actually started nannying 2 kids. So I was with the same family as before, but previously I was only watching one little boy, and then over the summer their oldest daughter, who was around like 1.5, 2 at the time, was out of school for the summer, so I started watching both of them and doing a lot more hours. In June, I also started reading books from Little Free Libraries, and I started filming that video, which ended up taking me a very long time, but I did start it in June. And then also in June, we were in our pickleball era. Me and my fiance were going a lot with some of our friends. We always get like really into it over the summer, and then we stop for a while, and then we'll get back into it, and then we'll stop. That was our peak last year, was in June. In July, we went to London, which I'm still so obsessed with, and so glad we got to do that, and so thankful I was able to do that. I love London so much, and I am so glad that I got to go on that trip, and I have all these memories. I also vlogged that trip, and I'm so glad I did, because it's gonna be so fun to look back at one day, and even now, it's so cool to see. And we also celebrated Andrew's birthday in London. That was really fun. For August, I saw It Ends With Us. I was really excited to see that movie because It Ends With Us was the book that kind of helped me get back into reading when I started again in like, I don't know, 2020 or something. And I really liked the movie. I know there's like a lot of drama going on with all of that with Justin and Blake Lively, but I liked the movie. I liked the book. It's not my favorite anymore. Obviously, my taste has changed. Moving on. Also in August, I unfortunately got very sick, and I even went to the ER, and I took time off of work, off of YouTube, and I ended up having like a stomach virus, and also I have like stomach issues, and we discovered all of that. And then I was also like forming a stomach ulcer, like a stomach ulcer was forming but not fully there yet. Like, so the stomach bug made the stomach ulcer feel like, or the one that was forming, a lot worse, and I just had a lot of inflammation and pain, and that was pretty much what we discovered. And then I also have to take acid reflux medication daily now, but at least we figured that out. But it was a little bit of a scary time. My poor sister can't do vomiting, and she had to help me, and it was just a whole time, but luckily I'm okay, and I'm thankful that I had family around me to help me. And since I was sick, I didn't really read. I don't read a lot when I'm sick for some reason. Like, I just would rather sit and like have my brain off and like watch a movie or something. I didn't read, but I did watch a ton of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders show, like the documentary on Netflix, and then I also watched the other show, Making the Team. I watched a lot of that. And September is the start of fall to me, so I decorated for fall. I love decorating for fall. I honestly think like when it's fall in here in my little reading corner is like my favorite. I like it a little bit more than Christmas even. So that's really fun to have it through September to November. I also celebrated my birthday in September, and then the biggest thing to ever happen in my entire life happened in September, which was I got engaged. and I'm so excited. I'm in my bridal era. Actually, this year, 2025, is the year of my wedding. Can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm so excited. October. Okay, I don't know why I said that in a British accent. In October, I went to a Falcons game with Andrew and I got to see Kirk Cousins. And if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with Kirk Cousins. I love him. Loved him before he came to the Falcons. Then he came to the Falcons and we live outside of Atlanta, so that's our team of choice. And I can't believe he actually came to the Falcons, although I don't want to talk about it now because he's benched right now, unfortunately. And we're probably getting rid of him. But at least I had one season with him and I got to go to one game and see him play in person and it was really fun. In October, we also went to a bridal show. We took engagement pictures. We started like the beginning of our engagement era, my bridal era, all that stuff. We did all that fun stuff. We went to a winery with some friends. That was our first time at this local winery near us, and we actually found a wine that we really liked. And then lastly, for October, I started the Harry Potter series. Actually, I only read the first book, but I did read the first book. I still need to read the rest of the series. In November, I became obsessed with the cookie butter cold brew from Dunkin'. I had that like at least once a week, sometimes more than that. I also went to see my sister's play in November and I got to see my grandparents because they came down to see it as well, and we all got to spend time together and it was really cute, and I'm so glad we got to do that and see them as well. Then we also booked our wedding venue in November. I'm so excited. I love the venue so much. I have a video coming out that's a part of my wedding diary series coming out soon-ish, and it has where we picked out the venue and like I talk about it more in that video. Then lastly, we celebrated Thanksgiving and my brother's birthday. It fell on Thanksgiving last year, so that was cool. And lastly, December, I went shopping a lot. I was looking through my camera roll and there's just so many pictures of me shopping, like not for myself but for Christmas and like Christmas gift and decorations. And then I also went dress shopping and found my dress for the wedding. I'm so excited. So glad I did that. It was such a fun experience. I also have that coming out in a video soon for the wedding diary series. I watched a lot of Christmas movies. I didn't read like at all. I think I finished one book in December and it was an audiobook. So I took a little bit of a break. And then I also got glasses, random, but I needed them. I wear contacts like not 24/7, I don't sleep in them, but I wear contacts every single day. I don't even have glasses. Well, I didn't have glasses that had my right prescription in them. So I got glasses and I wear them every night. I also saw Wicked, which has been my new personality trait lately. I keep singing the songs. They're always stuck in my head. I need to rent the version they have of it out now because there's like extended scenes or deleted scenes. I will be renting that soon. And then, of course, I celebrated Christmas and New Year's with my family, and that wraps up my year of... That was so country. And that wraps up my year of 2024. I had a very good year. I'm so thankful for everything I got to do and experience and so lucky. I had such a good year in 2024 and I'm so thankful, and I'm excited for 2025. And now I'm going to reflect on the goals that I set for 2024 and see if I actually achieved them, and we'll go through that now. So for my reading goals, one of my goals was to read 60 books, which I did achieve. I actually had to change my Goodreads goal sometime throughout the year because I hit 60. I think I might have actually been 70 on my Goodreads. I don't know. But I changed it to be 90, but I only ended up reading 88. So technically, I did achieve my overall goal, and then I had to change it, and I didn't achieve my second goal. I don't know, but I did read 60 books. I actually read more than that. Another goal was to listen to more audiobooks, which if you watched my tier ranking video of all the books I read in 2024, you would have seen my breakdown of how many books, like how many audiobooks I read, physical copy books I read, and books I read on my Kindle. And I read the most audiobooks. I think I listened to 43 audiobooks in 2024, which definitely more than I listened to in 2023, which I'm glad because that was my goal. I learned that I really like audiobooks this year and I listen to them constantly. Then I also achieved my goal of reading at least 2 different genres I haven't read before. I read a memoir. Actually, I read like 2 memoirs last year, which is a genre I've never read. I also read science fiction. I read horror. I'm glad I tried some new genres out. Then I had a goal of reading a 650 page book or longer, which I did achieve by reading the ACOTAR series. 2 of those books were more than 650 pages, but those were the only ones that were that long. I don't tend to read super long books, so I only had 2 of them, but I still got my goal. Then the last 2 goals I did not accomplish. One of them was to finish 3 series, which is very ambitious for me. I, for some reason, put off series. Like I have series on my physical TBR that I just haven't started. So I actually only finished 1 series last year completely, which was the ACOTAR series, and that's like just completing what's obviously out already. Hopefully this year I will read more series. And then my last reading goal that I didn't complete was to read all of the 24 books that I wanted to read in 2024. Like I made a video, 24 books I want to read in 2024, and I did not complete all of those. Here's the ones that I did complete, and here's all the ones that I did not complete. So maybe this year we'll finish that goal. For my personal goals, I had try something that is scary, and I think I completed that. I was going to more places alone last year, which was very scary for me. That used to be one of my biggest fears. I don't like to go places alone. Now I'm actually comfortable going places alone most of the time, so I'm proud of that. I also did a lot of traveling, which is scary for me. I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to traveling, but I pushed through and I did it. And then I also did my interview for my nannying job, which like is kind of scary to me. I just like make everything bigger in my head than like what it ends up being. It actually was super easy. And then all these other goals I did complete. I was more social. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I learned something new. I learned like more about editing and the editing software that I used, and was able to become like more efficient at editing and like faster. I learned about my camera and my settings. I feel like I finally have like a grasp and the gist of like my camera. I finally have like gotten it all up in here. Then I also learned about a high yield savings account, which thank God, and I finally moved all of my money that was sitting in my regular savings account that was earning like barely any interest, like literally literal cents of interest every month, into a high yield savings account, and now I earn so much more money in interest, and it's so nice. And then I also learned a little bit about investing, which I want to continue learning about this year. I have a lot of investment related goals for 2025, so I got better at cooking. I really think I did, and I feel way more comfortable in the kitchen, and I don't feel it's like so daunting and overwhelming. I'm very proud of myself for that. Eat healthier. When you cook at home more, I feel like it's just natural that you eat healthier instead of like eating out and eating fast food, so I feel like I accomplished that as well. Make a new friend. This seems kind of sad, but I don't get out much. I'm not very social. I don't have a lot of ways or opportunities to like meet new people because I'm like not in school. I don't have like a typical job. I work with kids, so it's like I don't have coworkers really, and it's just harder for me to make new friends. I really have to like put myself out there. But I did make some new friends last year, mostly through mutual friends or family, but hey, it's a new friend. And then lastly, prioritize your relationships, which I do think I did. And by that, I mostly mean like friendships and obviously my relationship with Andrew. I feel like I usually prioritize very well my relationship with Andrew, but we've made it like a point to have date nights and spend time together and all this stuff. And then with my friendships, I make sure that I hang out with them because I tend to just self-isolate and do things by myself and read at home all the time. But I feel like I was a little bit more social last year, especially towards the end of the year, which I want to carry over to this year and be social again. Those were all of my goals for 2024. I feel like I accomplished most of them. As you saw, I feel very proud of that, and I like to make goals that are a little bit more attainable. Like I know I have to work a little bit, but they're not like so far out there that I like know it's most likely not going to happen. But that was 2024. Okay. Now we can go through my Notion 2025 homepage. This is how it looks. If you remember last year, here's my one from last year. It was just kind of inefficient and I had all these down here and it was just a lot harder. So this year we did this. So up here I have like 4 pages that I'll use kind of more every day. My planner, my goals page, journal, and brain dump. So let's go over the planner first. I'm really glad with how I did it this year. I feel like it works well for my brain. Hopefully if you like it, it'll work well for your brain too. I'm gonna have the template down below if you're interested. Okay, so we're just gonna start a new month just so you can see what I'm doing. So at the beginning of every month, I like to write down goals and overall things that I want to do in that month. So for January, I would just click add item, and then down here I'm gonna click monthly overview. So this is the monthly overview template, and then each month you can just add this template and then write the month you're in, January overview. So it'll have a calendar of the current month, and then I can insert the month to-dos. So January. My to-dos for January are to put away Christmas decor. We all know. We've talked about it like 5 times. Set New Year's goals. Start a new routine. I think 3 is good. I can't think of any more. Goals for January. Save money. Post on TikTok more. That's one I'm trying to really do. And also post on Instagram more. Those are my to-dos and goals, and then at the end of the month I'll just go through and see if I did that, and I think that's interesting to see every month, and it's just helpful for me. And then also I have a daily one template, a daily planner, so each day I can go in, start my daily planner. I can schedule out my day for every single hour of the day if I wanted to. I can list my top priorities and my to-do list for the day. I like to have daily lists, but like sometimes they can get so overwhelming, so I feel like doing it like this, it just like closes it in a page and you don't have to see it unless you want to. It's not as overwhelming as like having each day written out, you know what I mean? And then I can also just write events that I have throughout the month. Then I have a weekly view because sometimes it can get kind of crowded if you have a bunch of different pages up here. And then I have my habit tracker, which I haven't started, but I really should. And I can track every week, and then I can just close the week, and then when it's a new week, click new week, and then I have a whole nother one for that week. So then I could go in and say if I woke up early, if I planned my day, if I exercised, saved money, read, all that stuff, and I can kind of keep track, hold myself accountable for those habits. Now for my goals, this is the one I really wanted to go through because I haven't done them yet. I will do most of them privately, but I wanted to talk about some of my reading goals with you guys. So for my 2025 reading goal, I'm going to go a little bit ambitious and say 100. I read 88 books last year, so I feel like I could get to 100 if I really, really try. So that's going to be my reading goal, read 100 books. I want to read a classic this year. I haven't read one yet, and I really want to read it. I want to start the Throne of Glass series. I don't know if I'll finish it. I probably will if I like get into it. I probably want to finish it. I'm going to say another series though, because like I mentioned before, I am not very good at reading series. I always put them off. Oh, I'm going to say the Magnolia Park series. I've had that on my TBR for a while. So I'll put start Magnolia Parks series. I'll put read a new genre. I like to just try different genres and just see what I like. So last year I tried a few different ones. We'll see if I can start any new ones this year. And then I also have this set up for quarterly goals. Sometimes I have specific goals for specific months. So if I do, like how you saw in my monthly overview page, I could go in here and write my goals for January, February, and March, and then also write like what category they're in. So there's that. And then for my journal, which I need to update this because this is my last year's mood board. But then I have my journal pages, so I can just add a new page, type the date, it's the 3rd, and it's January. And then on here I can just journal whatever I want because I don't like to physically journal. I did it a little bit last year, but honestly like having a physical one like made me not want to do it more. So I feel like if I'm typing it, it'll be easier for me. I can just get my words down and then have it electronically in front of me whenever I want it. And then I also have the same thing with manifesting. I haven't actually done it yet, but I like to just randomly manifest, and I never knew where to put it last year. I just put it in my journal and I didn't like how it was like together. So I have a separate one for it this year. And then for just a brain dump, sometimes I have like random thoughts, random ideas, random to-dos, links I find, or just content ideas. So if I just need to like really quickly brain dump, I could just put them there and then organize it later. And then down here, I have a clock widget, my books read this year widget, important dates, which there's none right now because I literally have nothing going on in January. But if I had like someone's birthday or an anniversary, it would go there. And it's linked to this page over here. So you can see the ones I have coming up in February. So when it's February next month, they'll populate here automatically. And then I just have the weather just for fun. And I honestly just needed another widget there. And then I have my books. So I'm going to go through my books with you guys because I love my book pages. They're my pride and joy. So this is not true. My reading goal is 100 as we just made. I have other reading goals I can copy and paste here if I want to, or just make new ones each month. Have my book read this year. Again, this is the same as the other one, so it'll automatically populate the other one if I add books here. My 25 books of 2025, I have that video coming out soon, so look forward to that, and I'll write them all here. And then this is like my favorite thing ever. It is the what I'm reading this month section. So each month has their own page, and then so each month when I want to make my monthly TBR, I can just go into here, write my monthly TBRs, and then I can check them off too. And at the end of the year, I can see if I actually finished all my TBRs for the year, which I can tell you last year I definitely didn't. So hopefully maybe this year I'll do better at that. But I just love how it looks. It's so aesthetically pleasing to me. Then down here, these are old series, so I need to update this. I've already finished that. That doesn't need to be on here. Addicted Can Stay, because still haven't read any of those. Shatter Me, I've read that entire series. Carval, I've read the first two. ACOTAR, finished with that. We can make this, oh yeah, Throne of Glass is literally right there. I was going to make it Throne of Glass, but we already have it. And then I'll add like some other series later. Actually, I guess I can do it now, because I know I do want to read Once Upon a Broken Heart. That's all I'm going to write right now. I know I want to read Magnolia Park, so I'll go in and add that later. And then if I have any other series goals this year, I'll add them later on. So that's the TBR and goals page. And then I have the reading tracker, which if you saw my tier ranking, you'll know this comes in handy so well. This is like the example one because I just copied the template and put it in here. This just helps me track all the books that I read throughout the entire year. I love this page. This is like literally my lifeline. I love it so much. I don't love always going in every month and writing all the books I read down, but it is worth it in the end. So the rating, date read, type, and rating like number. So you have to write the number here instead of just a star so it can populate and calculate the average. I'm not going to do page count this year. Last year I tracked the amount of pages I read, but since I listened to so many audiobooks, I was just kind of confused by that number and it's not really accurate. So I'm just not going to do that this year. And then I have my physical TBR, which I need to go in and do, which I'm dreading. This is just an example, but I'll write all the books that I have on my physical TBR that aren't read. I like to just make sure I'm reading a lot of them, and then it can also sort by genre so I can just know how many of each genre I have. It's just fun to see. And then I have my books to buy page. Sometimes I like to create a list so I'm not just impulse buying. And right now this is not accurate again because this is just the template that I made copied into here, but I have a place where you can put the title, the link, and then notes about it, like if it's not out yet. And then once you buy it, you can just check it off, and then it will go over here, and or if you don't want it, you can just delete it. But if you buy it and check it, then it'll count how many books you've bought, which is going to be interesting for me to see because I didn't track that last year. My meal planner, I love my meal planner, and this is also not accurate again, but I have recipes page with a bunch of different recipes. Hello? She's slow, give her a second. I have my recipes page with a bunch of different recipes. I can write down my meals. I usually only do dinners. That's why there's like one meal. I don't like to like plan lunch or plan breakfast. I just kind of wing it. But dinners I like to plan because you actually have to like cook it. That's what I like to do. So that's why there's only like one meal here. But I would just write it down, write what type of cooking stuff I need. And then down here is like a visual version of it, and I can also write the recipe in here, so then later I have it here. But I also have a new app my mom bought for me. It's called Recipe Me that I'm gonna try this year. It apparently does like what I just showed you, but easier. You can also like add recipes from like social media and like websites on the app, and then it's automatically there, and it's like a lot easier. You don't have to like manually type it. So I'm gonna try that out this year, and I'll let you know if I like it. I'm sure it'll be in a vlog. Then I have my finances page, which I'll go over really quickly because I want to show you my no buy rules for 2025. The rest of these pages are blank, and I plan on putting information about certain things and just like resources and learning material in there for myself. But for my no buy rules for 2025, I'm really trying to save money this year and not impulse buy. So hopefully these rules help me. But for the first one, I am not allowed to buy any new beauty, skincare, hair care, or body care items until I completely run out of the items. I have a tendency to buy a lot of, mostly it's like makeup. Like if a new blush comes out, I'm like a sucker for blush, or like a lip product. I tend to buy them without like using up my previous products, and then they just get like old or whatever, and I just throw them out. So really try not to do that this year. However, this does exclude stocking up during the Sephora sales. So for example, if the Sephora sale is here and I'm technically not used up of like some of my favorite products, I'm allowed to like preemptively buy them to stock up on them because I know I'm going to run out, or if I'm like almost out of it, then I can buy it. But I'm not allowed to just buy like random stuff just because it's the Sephora sale. Then I'm really gonna try not to buy a lot of clothes this year. I actually do really well on clothes. I don't really buy that many clothes. I don't think I do. I tend to buy more like makeup and books and stuff than clothes, but I do buy a little bit of clothes. However, I'm going to try not to unless necessary, and by necessary I mean like socks, underwear, things like that, or if it's like I need a shirt for a specific thing, which I don't know what that would be, but you know, anything like that. And then this also excludes things from my bridal era because I'm only going to be engaged once. I'm only going to be in my bridal era once, and I'm going to fully take it in, and I'm going to buy the shirt that says bride, all that kind of stuff. So I'm allowed to do that. And then no new candles until I completely run out of them. Again, I'm a sucker for fall candles. I love them, but I still have so many. I have so many candles, so I'm not allowed to buy any. Which I didn't really buy any last year. Actually, that's not true. Ignore what I said. Okay, this is going to be a hard one. No eating out more than 1 time a week except for super special occasions, like an anniversary or something. I love to eat out, and so does my fiance. Like, we really love to go on date nights. However, it's expensive and it adds up quick. So we're going to try only go once a week. And no impulse buying. I'm a very, very bad impulse spender, like I said. So I want it to be an item. If I'm going to buy it, it has to be on my wish list for at least 48 hours. I have to think about it, let it sit, not just like immediately see it and immediately buy. I think I need it because that happens to me a lot. And I think if I like wait and sit on it, I know like certain items I won't really care for after a certain point. So no impulse buying, hopefully in 2025. And then lastly, no buying books with my own money. I have so many gift cards for Barnes that I got for Christmas, and I still think I have one from like my birthday that has a little bit of money on it. So I'm really gonna try not to spend my own money. Once the gift cards are gone, I can't buy any. And hopefully these gift cards last me a while. I have a lot of books on my TBR, I have my Kindle, like I don't need to buy crazy amount of books. I bought a lot of books last year. I don't know how many because I didn't calculate it and I don't really want to know. But this year I'm tracking it, so I will know. And I have a ton of gift cards, like I said, so I'm going to use those and hopefully not spend my own money on them. Those are all my no buy rules. We'll see if I actually stick to them. I really hope I do. Last few pages on here are my wish list. Like I said, this is like how I'll know if I really want to buy something because it'll be on my wish list for more than 48 hours. 48 hours. So I have the item, price, date added, so I know when I wanted it and how long I've been waiting to buy it. If I'm still considering it, bought it, or don't want it anymore, and then the link. So if I said I bought this, it would automatically go to bought items. And this also calculates the amount of money I spent, which will be fun to see. And then if I don't want it anymore, I can say I don't want it, and then it'll go here. So I can see how many items I thought I wanted and then ended up not wanting after a certain point. So I'll actually see if the impulse thing works or not. And then important dates and birthdays, like I said, that is to have it here. And then lastly, cleaning, I don't really know. Just my Sunday reset routine and my Sunday reset routine and some other cleaning stuff if I want to go there. And then lastly down here is just another view of my calendar. It's the same thing that's in here. It's just a little bit bigger and it's down here. So if I just want to quickly see what I have going on, it's right here. So that's my Notion template for 2025. I really am excited to use that. I think it's going to be a lot more efficient and just easier for me to use and like easier for my brain. And I'll probably like play around with it throughout the year, see what works and see what doesn't, and maybe adjust some things. So I'm sure I'll show you guys whatever I do in my monthly reset videos. But if you're interested in this template, I'll have it linked down below. Now I want to try to set up my story graph. I'm currently downloading it right now. Oh, it's done. That was quick. I just feel like I want something else to track my books. Sometimes Goodreads is like so confusing and old and ancient. I just want to see how Storygraph is. A lot of people say it's better than Goodreads, so we're going to find out this year. So the good thing about Storygraph is you can input your information from Goodreads and all of your Goodreads data. So that's what I'm going to do so I don't have to go in and do all of that individually. So I got Storygraph already. Loving it because you can set your reading goal, and then I also set my hours goal because I listen to a lot of audiobooks and I want to see just how many hours I listen to. But I'll keep you updated on if I like Storygraph or not, and if I end up like just switching over completely or using both Storygraph and Goodreads. I'll also write my username right here if you want to follow me on there, and for my Goodreads, they're right here if you want to see what I'm reading this year. Lastly, for today's video, I wanted to talk about some exciting things that are coming in 2025 and kind of just look forward to the year that's about to come. So obviously the number one thing happening to me this year and to my fiance is that we're getting married. I'm getting married in September of 2025, so I'm so excited. So I'll be doing a lot of wedding planning. I already got like the big things out of the way, but I still have little things to do. I still have some vendors to pick and stuff like that, bachelorette party, all that kind of fun stuff. So I'll definitely be vlogging most of it throughout this year and all of my wedding diaries series videos for that. And we'll also be hopefully going on our honeymoon maybe in October. We haven't planned that out exactly yet, so that's another thing we need to do this year, but I'm super excited for that. I want to go somewhere tropical and relaxing. Also, my fiance just started a new job literally on January 1st. So we're slowly getting into a new routine with having him work from home and being home a lot more. It's so nice. We can actually eat lunch together. He has a lunch break. We can eat dinner together. We can cook together. It's so nice having him home. I also want to focus on YouTube a lot more this year and hopefully post about 2 times a week. Post a lot of reading vlogs, regular vlogs, post my wedding diaries videos, and make some new content for you guys. I'm so excited and I feel inspired and motivated and creative for all the videos that I want to film in the new year. This year is a pretty big year for my fiance and I. We're going through a lot of change. We're going to be continuing to go through a lot of change. So I'm excited and hopeful, and I'm really excited to look back on this year and see just how much we've accomplished and see what this year brings. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what your goals for 2025 are, and if you have anything you've reflected on from 2024. Subscribe to me if you aren't already so you can continue to see all of my videos that are coming in 2025. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.